My aunt has a meeting this late, and so I went to check on her dog. I figured do a little chat while watching the sunset. But a lot of people seem to think that gentleness, kindness, choosing peace, and being respectful, and things like that are a weakness. Like, it makes you weak to be considerate of other people, and that, the world is this harsh, cruel place, and that that's not how things are, and that you need to be willing to, use other people as stepping stones and backstab if you want to get ahead in life and all these things. And it's like, that's not true. Honestly, with how the world's set up, it's easier and to choose that path, but it takes a lot more strength. There's a hawk. It takes a lot more strength to choose to be kind, to choose to have empathy, to choose to be respectful when people aren't treating you very kindly. And when I say choose to be kind, it's not just choosing to be kind to other people, but choosing to be kind to yourself as well. It's not very easy in today's society because we're usually conditioned to people please and to always, oh, well, that's not, you shouldn't do that. And if you say it like that, they could get the wrong idea. And it's just like, you need to choose to be kind to yourself as well, which means if you have to walk away from situations that are harming you, that aren't serving you, that are, actually to your detriment, if you stay, then you should be kind to yourself. Because a lot of times we're told to ignore our feelings, and to just, go along to get along, all the social niceties, play nice, and just not that you should be disrespectful, but you shouldn't disrespect yourself as well. You shouldn't let other people walk all over you and mistreat you. You deserve better. So you should take time to be kind to yourself and do what you need so you can live your best life. And there's nothing wrong with having emotions, as my aunt on my dad's side likes to say. Your feelings are valid, but your perception may not be true. And it's sort of like how if you're looking at a coin and you see the side has the face side on it, and you could be like, oh, well, it's this. Well, the person on the opposite side will be like, no, it's this, because they see the tail side. And it's like, both can be true, but you don't have the full story. And so with people's perspectives, even if what they see is true to them, it may not be the full truth. It may be skewed and distorted because maybe the person who's telling them things is only giving them partial truths or twisting it to suit their own narrative. So you got to be mindful of that. And it's sort of like over there is what used to be my grandma's house, and there was a lot of drama that went down in that house. So speaking on choosing to be kind both to yourself and other people and not letting other people mistreat you, the last time I spoke to my aunts on my mom's side was over a year and a half ago, because my grandma had died and we had gone to her funeral. Sorry for the background noise. But I had gone to do my job, and then I came to support my mom, and she had been at my grandma's house talking about her plans for a garden flag, and I had been there for a couple minutes, not very long at all. I hadn't touched anything, and my aunts, they came up to me and just started screaming at me and verbally and emotionally abusing me and just lashing out with all this hate and nastiness when I hadn't even done anything, talking about how I was an effing vulture, how I never even cared about my grandma, and like saying all these things that weren't true, that I was just after her stuff, and it's like, I haven't done anything, I'm just supporting my mom. But it just kept going bigger and bigger and bigger, and literally like everyone except for me and my two younger cousins, who were 20 and 13 at the time, so everyone else ended up like screaming at each other and just lashing out at each other and just so handled the situation horribly. And like the messed up thing, aside from myself, like all the adults were acting like very emotionally unregulated and just horribly to each other. And it's just really sad that the people who were being the most mature in the situation, aside from myself, were those who were the youngest, a 20-year-old and a 13-year-old. And like the three of us were trying to break it up, to have things be peaceful, to like try to get people to walk away and try to diffuse the situation. But they didn't want to do that, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And eventually we were able to break it up. But they haven't apologized for any of that in over a year and a half, going on 2 years. And it's just really sad. Like, I don't fault them for being in their grief with the loss of their mom. Like, that's really hard. And I don't fault them for that at all. I don't think it's wrong to be upset and emotional over the loss of a loved one. That's very understandable. But that being said, you don't get to take your feelings out on other people and lash out and just be nasty to them and hurt them. You gotta be accountable for your actions. And they haven't tried to apologize. They haven't tried to make amends or anything. And I haven't seen them since. And they're trying to act like things are normal now, like nothing happened. And it's like, I'm not being like my siblings who have said things like, oh, they're dead to me, I'm never going to speak to them again, they're horrible people, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I'm not going down that path. But at the same time, you can't just act like nothing happened. You didn't even apologize or try to make things better at all. And while I'm not going to be resentful or nasty or hateful or vindictive or vengeful or any of that, I'm also not going to let you treat me like that and act like nothing happened. If you want to apologize and try to make amends, great. But I've reached this point where it's kind of like I've decided to be a mirror almost, not reflecting back to them like their energy per se. Like if they're being, disrespectful and unkind and hurtful to me, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to reflect back efforts made, if that makes sense. So, yeah. If you're not going to put efforts into making the relationship work or righting wrongs and taking accountability and apologizing and, being honest and respectful and kind, then I don't have to make space for you in my life. Not out of a place of maliciousness, but I don't need that in my life. So, yeah. Be kind to you. Be respectful to yourself. Don't put up with the nonsense. And I'm gonna get off because they seem to be doing all sorts of yard work and it doesn't seem to be stopping. So take care. Best wishes. Bye.